All right, fam. We got it all plugged together. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Pelican post game report. Kind of surprising people, man, that we actually doing this. We had a couple of requests on doing the Pelican post game report, covering the show, and I guess we kind of surprised. And it was kind of a last minute decision. And I said, you know what, man, let's just go ahead on and do it. We got a few requests from people, more than a few requests from family members to join the podcast. So I said to myself, man, we might as well kick it off, get it going, man. Fire it up, get it going. And as you can see, I had to rig the mic. I ain't have a decent mic, but I said, you know what, we're gonna rig up the mic and we're gonna get some good sound, man. We're gonna fire up the Pelican post game report. So excuse the mic. It worked though. I'm moving around right now, family. I'm in a hotel right now, but I'm still gonna do what I gotta do to bring you this Pelican content. You heard me. But let's get into the news and notes of what we're talking about dealing with the Pelicans before the draft. Stuff is firing up. They're just doing the ceremonial stuff right now, introducing the guys um, on stage right now. A few of the top people that's attending the draft. But this is the thing I want to get into. Pelicans make some moves at the top of the mark. They have traded the fourth overall pick to Atlanta for the number eight overall, the number 17 overall in the first round. They also picked up a let me see here. They also picked up other trades and moves here. Give me just a second here, family. Yes, that's one of the big things I do like about what the Pelicans are doing, man. That's why I said I was really enthused about when David Griffin came in here. He was going to bring something to the team, respectability. Something that they didn't have under Dale Demps. Nobody respected Dale Demps. Come on, you know. And it's just one of those things where the way he ran the team, he did the best he could do, but the dude just wasn't competent. But But the Pelicans, though, they make a serious move here. They trade the number fourth overall pick. Now, this happened moments ago, not too long ago. They traded the fourth overall pick in Thursday's draft for the number eighth, the number 17, and the number 35th pot, and the 35 pick. So they have a lot of picks, in the first round, three in the first round, and of course that 31st 35th pick that they sent. Now, what's really great about this move is the fact that the Pelicans got rid of Solomon Hill, which is the question I asked when we did the previous show when they traded Anthony Davis away. I was where was Solomon Hill? Why was Solomon Hill not added in this mix? Why are we still holding on? There's some people saying 12 million. Not 12 million, it's 12.7. It's actually almost $13 million that we paying Solomon Hill that we just gave away to Solomon Hill's charity, you know. But they packaged his ass up and sent him out of here along with the 57th pick. So the bottom pick, the least far pick we had in the second round, they gave that to the Hawks along with the fourth round pick and a future second round pick as a part of the exchange. Atlanta also sending a heavy protected Cleveland first round pick in 2020 to the Pelicans. Now let's get this straight, fam. Let's understand this. The Pelicans traded the fourth overall pick. Okay. That pick could have been Darius Garland. I would have really liked that, but obviously they in on Lonzo Ball to see what he can do. But my thing is you can never have too many great point guards because what if Lonzo get hurt? What you got then? But the Pelicans take the gamble. They ship the pick fourth overall to the Hawks for the eighth overall, the 17th overall, and the 35th overall. Then sending Solomon Hill to um, Atlanta along with the 57th pick in the second round, shipping that out. And then they also got a 2020 protective pick from Atlanta that belonged to Cleveland. So the Pelicans got actually three first round picks here. They got two this year, one in 2020, and got rid of Solomon Hill's garbage contract. So that frees up almost $13 million in monies that the Pelicans will have. So the Pelicans will have three first round draft picks if it stands the way it is, and a second round draft pick. So they'll have four picks in tonight's draft and an extra almost $13 million off the books thanks to the trade that got rid of the worst contract we had on our team. Now, the question mark is Etwine Moore. What happens with Etwine Moore, fam? Etwine Moore is 8.6, I think it is 8.6 million. Is he expendable now? making $8 million when Jason Hart is a better player than him, bigger than him, and they play basically the same position. So I wouldn't be surprised if Etwan Moore is moved either, and they free open that $8 million there too. So that's some of the things that was the top news. The Pelicans ultimately shift out the fourth overall pick in Thursday's draft for the eighth overall, the 17th overall, and the 35th overall. They also get a 2020 first round protected pick that belonged to Cleveland, and they get rid of Solomon Hill and then give up the 59th pick this year, which was a late second round pick, which I don't think, that who knows, it might end up in something, but I don't think it would have. So the Pelicans did an excellent job of doing some great moves here. Ultimately, doing what they needed to do to address the situation, building this team, plus freeing up money, to go after, I ain't gonna say a max free agent, but maybe a second tier player they can add to the mix because they definitely still need shooters and they definitely could use a big. They can definitely most certainly use a big. Post Jaleel Okafor is the top big on the team. Now let's go over the rest of the news here that I won't cover y'all before the draft hits. Besides the trade that occurred, now of course the Pelicans did also announce today that they pick up the option for Jaleel Okafor for the 2019-2020 season, and Okafor almost a 7 footer. Some say 6'11". I say 7 footer. Drafted overall by third overall by Philly back in 2015. Averaged 8.2 points a game and almost 5 rebounds in the reserve role for the New Orleans last year. But he thrived in the starting capacity. He scored 10 or more points 21 times last season, including 5 of his final games, and finished with 30 points in the regular season finale. And his productivity in New Orleans represented a turnaround for what he was 2 years ago. They gave up on Jaleel Okafor too early. I don't know why they did, but for whatever reason, teams just gave up on Jaleel Okafor, which was foolish. How do you give up on Jaleel Okafor? And the only reason why his stats would have been a lot better was the fact the that Elvin Gentry didn't play him as much as he was supposed to. If Gentry had played Jaleel Okafor a little bit more, then his stats would have went through the roof. I've often said that Jaleel Okafor should have played the 5 and Anthony Davis should have slid back to the 4, which is natural position, because you can't argue he's the best 4 in the league. He's not the best 5, but he's the best 4 in the league, in my opinion. So why would you use him at the 5? That's the foolhardiness of Elvin Gentry. Just was stuck in his foolish ways. But that's also a good thing to talk about as well, because as we move further, Jaleel Okafor, they picked up the option, super cheap contract. One of the good moves. We're gonna talk about, giving Dale Demp some credit. Give Dale Demp some credit for that, because Dale Demp actually did a pretty damn good job. He actually did a pretty good damn job doing that. Boy at 17. What's up, PJ? Thank you for joining the live stream, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining, man. Kind of surprising you guys with the Pelican postgame report live stream. I didn't anticipate it doing it. As you can see, my microphone is, kind of I had to fix it, and you see, so it works though. But one of my mics, anyway, my traveling mic. Yes, you can see I'm in a hotel room. We're doing the Pelican post game report, man. We got to do it big, man. I can't just let travel stop me from talking about my Pelicans. I travel with my pals, and I got to talk about them. But anyway, getting back into the conversation, outside of the Jaleel Okafor move, which is one of the things that you got to give Dale Demps credit for, the Pelicans did a good, solid job in getting this guy, and he can develop and blossom into something. He has a good offensive game. He worked better on his defense. He got stronger, and I really appreciate Jaleel Okafor's development. He just has to get the minutes. El Gentry has to give him more minutes. Now, speaking of El Gentry getting more, the Pelicans picked up the option for the 2020 to 2021 season on Elvin Gentry, and agreeing to, after they traded Anthony Davis, the team then announced that they picked up Elvin Gentry's option. And according to this is what David Griffin said about Elvin Gentry: we couldn't be happier to extend our relationship with Elvin. He's exactly the right coach at the right time for this franchise. I don't see what these people looking at. You need to get thicker glasses, man. They are not looking at the same stuff I'm looking at. As I've mentioned several times previously, the shared vision we have for the future of the Pelicans basketball, both on and off the floor, will enable us to build a roster that fits both culturally and tactically. Perhaps more important, a relationship would have built over many years together when able to challenge. With Griffin basically acquiring Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, we talked about this. The fact that they traded Anthony Davis for this haul of players, and they also got draft picks to go along with it to try to build the future around Zion Williamson. They still have Drew Holiday intact. They finally offload Solomon Hill's garbage ass in his contract. So good to see him gone. But this is the thing, though. Elvin Gentry has been he's a kind man, man. I keep telling them. You look at this, they're not watching the same footage. They're not watching the tape. You're not teaching defensive principles. If his coaches are failing defensively, you can't win one side again. You have look what Toronto did. They were a solid defensive team that caused problems for Golden State. The injuries helped out too, but at the end of the day, you gotta understand it's about defense. Defense helps you get there. Defense is key. And our teams under Elvin Gentry was not defensive consistently enough, despite the fact that we had two of the best defensive players in the league with Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday. How do you not consistently your defense consistently gives up walk up layups and a dozen 3-point shots? Your philosophy is flawed, but he refuses to see it. I mean, this is a bunch. You can't sell me that garbage. You know, that's Associated Press. That's all ESPN, all these other people, these numbskull television people talking about Elvin Gentry did a great job under tough circumstances. No fool, idiots. Doing a good job under tough circumstances mean you're winning games despite the fact that you don't have your top star. Let's get that understood. Under difficult circumstances, that which he was going in and winning games and playing the players and developing the team, not waiting to players you ran them and gave them way too many minutes and warmed down in the season too early, then were forced to play role players because the regular players wasn't there. He would have never discovered who Kenrick Williams was if he wouldn't have ran the rest of those guys down and given Julius Randle too many minutes, given Drew Holiday too many minutes, Anthony Davis too many minutes, and not properly using his bench. Miss me, well, you can't tell me nothing about Elvin Gentry. You know, all these people saying that he's the right coach and right there. Elvin Gentry's too old to be coaching this team. He don't have enough rings, and he got a ring as an assistant coach. He's a losing head coach with a losing head record. As a head coach, he has a losing record. And you're talking about he's great and he's done a great job. Man, get out of here. 5 years here, one winning season. Get out of here, fool. With that, it just don't play with my intelligence. Elvin Gentry is not a good head coach. He's a good assistant coach. He's a good offensive mind. But as far as defense is concerned and the head coach is concerned, Elvin Gentry is not the man. You think Anthony Davis would have left if Calipari was the coach? Would he? You think he would have left if Cali? It would have made him think. But Elvin Gentry commands no respect from great players. Why should he? Why should he? He hasn't done anything. Anyway, let me get off my rant about Elvin Gentry. But the Pelicans do the one wrong thing, which is pick the option on this man contract, which is probably cool anyway because it's gonna put the pressure on him to perform, and I don't think he'll be able to live up to it. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just what I see. Okay, let's go to the next story. Julius Randle won't pick up the option. He will enter free agency. That was talked about a few days ago. He's ready to move on, and we knew this was going to happen. He's not picking up the $9 million option. The Pelicans got him for a song, really cheap, and now the fact that the team is he's opting. He's basically betting on himself. He had a supreme year, 21 points a game, almost 9 rebounds, shot almost 35% from 3-point range on 195 attempts. Julius Randle came here, took full advantage of his situation, and now he's looking to get paid. So I'm new, but the truth be told is he doesn't have a place here with the Pelicans anyway. Zion Williamson is there. He's not going to come off the bench, and you'll be a fool to run a guy that's 6'9" at the point guard, at the power forward. It's not center position. So come on. But Julius Randle had an excellent move. We knew when he came in, you got him for super cheap to play next to Anthony Davis. He balled out, had an excellent career. And big ups to Julius Randle. He had a fantastic season with the Pelicans. It just, as the team moves forward, the position where he occupies is our future star, Zion Williamson. So Julius Randle, big up to you as he moves forward, as he opts out of the deal to become a free agent, basically betting on himself. And and that's some of the stuff, man. It's just a terrific if you think about it. A lot of the stuff that we did, man, a lot of the things that we did, that we put together, was awesome. It was awesome. Awesome moves as far as the Pelicans are concerned since David Griffin got here, since he hired Tranger Langdon to come in and be the next man. It's just terrific. So at the end of the day, the Pelicans did a fantastic job in accruing these picks and getting the things that they need Done. So this is the great thing. Once again, the Pelicans, man, they trade the number 4 pick, Solomon Hill, the number 59th pick to the Atlanta Hawks for the number 8th, the number 17, the number 35, and a future protected first round pick in 2020. So the Pelicans got access, they got assets accumulated from the Anthony Davis trade that goes well into the future. So the Pelicans, which is and it poses an interesting dilemma because Dale Demps didn't know how to build a team through the draft. What he would do is trade all his first round picks, then go overpay for guys. Totally stupid. But you can see David Griffin's philosophy is they have money. They got over $20 million. They just got $13 million back from Solomon Hill's deals, shipping him out to Atlanta. And I say we should in this draft probably move Etwine Moore. Hopefully they move Etwine Moore's 8.6 or whatever it is million, because he's expendable now with the acquisition of Jason Hart. They both play the same position off the bench. So and he can't play point guard. So and plus you want Frank Jackson to develop in that off the bench role. So Etwine Moore, in my opinion, has to go. He makes too much money. I'll take a pay cut. But I anticipate the Pelicans, if they're smart, they will move Etwine Moore tonight. Possibly try to get a late pick for him just to get him off the contract. I mean, get his contract off the books. That'll be extra money we can use to go after people in the free agency. That'll be following the NBA draft in a few weeks. So it's real fun, man, and really positive that the Pelicans made that trade because to get rid of the fourth round pick. Now, obviously, we know that the Pelicans are going to take Zion Williamson with the first pick, and we're dealing with mere moments before it happens, and a lot of people. This is the buzz in the city, man. I haven't seen since Anthony Davis and because people are really anticipating this, and the commissioner is sounding it right now. It's official. It's official. We got him, fam. Zion Williamson is official a Pelican. The commissioner just announced it, and we got Zion Williamson. We got him. Y'all chime in, man. Let me know what y'all thinking, man. Chime in on the show. PJ, others, welcome. Come on in. Zion Williamson is a Pelican. He is. Yep, he's a Pelican. Yep, love it, man. So is peace out to Anthony Davis. Peace in is to peace out to AD. Big ups to Zion Williamson as he moves in to be the Pelicans' new established star. He just shook the commissioner's hand. He got the Pelicans hat on. It's official, man. It's official. Zion Williamson is a Pelican. Like I said, we welcome to the Pelican Post Game Report. We're multi-streaming right now. We're live on our speaker platform on the Pelican Post Game Report on the PRO Media Network that's blasting out across our social media. And also, we are live on our YouTube page, live streaming through our YouTube page, the Pelican Post Game Report on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, excuse me, not page, but the channel. So, covering this awesome move, Zion Williamson, man, choked up on stage thanking his mama, first overall, and his mama standing next to him, Mama Williamson. Zion's choked up, man. Good brother. Welcome to the Pelicans, Zion Williamson, man. But that's exciting, man. We have Zion Williamson. I just wanted to cover it at the Pelican post game report. But we covered a few other news. But right now, the story of the moment is Zion Williamson is choked up, man, with his mother choking back tears. He's emotional right now. Sharonda Anderson is Zion's mother. So big ups, man, to the Pelican organization, landing the selection, getting a lot of things right. Uh, Taking the option on Jaleel Okafor, which is huge. because he can really help. Now Christian Wood, I don't know about Christian Wood. I don't know. I think Christian Wood had a 1 year deal, and perhaps he done enough for the team to bring him back. But it's going to be interesting, man, to see exactly how the Pelicans, what they turn into. Because Christian Wood to me should be a guy that the Pelicans look at keeping. Then we have a few restricted guys as well. But in my opinion, man, I think this team is headed in the right direction. That's right. Zion's tears in his eye, man. He made it. He made it to his dream. He's living his dream now in New Orleans, and that's the big part. That's the great thing about it. Look at that, showing city a block parties being put on by the Pelican, streams everywhere, and it's official, fam. Zion Williamson is a Pelican, man. Big ups, big ups. We have our star. Peace out, Anthony Davis. Go run around with LeBron. Go do movies and do stuff that's not gonna win championships because it won't work. Didn't Demarcus Cousins teach your ass anything? Didn't he teach you anything? It won't work. It won't work. But Zion Williamson is a guy that we have, and he's going to do it the right way. And the Pelicans, it's official, man. He is a Pelican. Big ups to Zion Williamson and the Pelicans. David Griffin, Tranger Langdon, Swin Cash, all the fantastic people, and especially Gail Benson, because you got to thank Gail Benson because she was the one that was in particular took this team and said, "This is my legacy. The Pelicans are my legacy. Tom Benson's is his legacy is the Saints." And Gail took the Pelican organization as her own and opened the pocketbooks. Brought in a basketball man who bringing in basketball people, hired the right people. It's just Gentry is the only albatross there, but we'll see if he can get it done. He couldn't do it with Anthony Davis before, but maybe he can do it with Zion Williamson if he can get his defensive coaches together, perhaps. Now the next thing falls is Memphis is on the clock. Of course, they don't have nothing to do with us. Conley was traded to Utah earlier today. So that's the big thing, man, that we have to look at and figure out. Zion Williamson is officially a Pelican. So big ups to the Pelicans, man. Big ups to the Pelicans for doing big things, man. And that's the fantastic thing that you got to feel that, man. You gotta really, really, really be happy, man. Yep. Yep. And we getting our Facebook page, people hitting up. But it's awesome, man. It's awesome that we finally got Anthony Davis out of here. Zion and Zion Williamson is a Pelican. It's official. And it's just terrific. And the Pelicans are doing an excellent thing. They're doing an excellent thing. They get Zion Williamson here. And outside of that, not only did they get rid of they get Zion Williamson, they get rid of Anthony Davis, but they use enough pick capital to be able to build the team through the draft, trading the fourth overall pick that they acquired from the Los Angeles Lakers, packing it and sending it to the Hawks, basically offloading Solomon Hill's garbage ass and his terrible contract, thanks to Dell Demps. Not 12 million, but 12.6 million, almost 12. That was almost $13 million that we owe Solomon Hill in the last year of that contract. That's almost 13 million that can go toward free agency. So when we get ready to make a move and make a player, maybe not get a max player, but perhaps get a second tier player that can come in and help this team. But to be honest with you, if you look at the Pelicans depth chart with the new acquisitions of people like Alonzo Ball that'll fit right next to Drew Holiday, and then Brandon Ingram, who they said should be healthy, and then Zion Williamson officially drafted tonight to play the fourth position. The fifth position is Jaleel Okafor right now. They picked up the option for him, but of course they have two other picks in the first round. The Pelicans have three first round draft picks that they acquired from the Atlanta Hawks. Well, not the two of first, the ones plus the first overall pick they won on their own. Number 8 and number 17 from the Atlanta Hawks to take Solomon Hill's garbage ass and a second round pick. And then we get back two first round picks, a high second round pick, which is 35th, and you get a fourth pick, which is a first round pick, protected pick that used to belong to Cleveland that Atlanta got that's protected in 2020. So the Pelicans acquiring draft capital that span all the way into the future. So this is awesome, man. This is awesome. The Pelicans have a few picks, 2 first round picks next year as well. So you can see the direction of what they're trying to do. They're giving themselves options where they don't have to overpay for talent. Now, next year's draft is anticipated to be, to be a pretty serious draft as well, even though it's not have that phenomenal star that Zion Williamson is. But what will the Pelicans do with that number 8 position? That's the question, fam. Welcome to the Pelican Post Game Report live stream. We streaming out to our audience on Spreaker. So if you want to hear us on Spreaker, we're on Spreaker.com/slash the sports coma. We're streaming out there and also streaming on our YouTube channel out to our subscribers here. That's exclusive of the Pelican Post Game Report channel. This is not airing on uh, any other of our channels. This is exclusive content for the Pelican Post Game Report channel. And like I said, I'd like to thank y'all for joining us here. This was a last minute setup. I'm basically traveling right now. As you could tell, I'm in my hotel room and we basically are moving around. And I said, you know what, man, this is an important time. Usually I would do one after it's all over with, but we're going to do a first live stream where we cover the team while the draft is going on. So it's really awesome, really excellent. And to look at it, Jay Morant's just been selected by the Memphis Grizzlies. No surprise there. They just traded Conley to Utah. We know Morant was the man. They've been announcing that. Pelicans about 4 or 5 picks away. What will they do with the number 8 spot? What will we do? Will we go after a center? They were trying to. It was trade rumors about Bradley Beal. There was trade rumors about Kevin Love. Could a potential trade happen where the Pelicans package one of those picks and send them to get a veteran, or will the Pelicans just bring in more first round talent? Something tell me that the Pelicans are not done wheeling and dealing. I said it before that they need to offload Etwan's Moore Solomon Hill and Etwan Moore's contract. Etwan Moore 8.6. Jason Hart basically makes him expendable. Hart comes here with a cheaper contract, and he's a better player than Etwan Moore, and it basically makes Moore expendable. And the Pelicans can get rid of his 8.6 million, and that can go toward building the team in the future. Period. Getting rid of both Solomon's almost 13 million and Etwan's 8 gives you all over $20 million that you can put what you have and go out and get some real talent to help the Pelicans compete this year. So a healthy mix of youth and veterans that can really soar, like something similar to what Toronto have, where they got an excellent mix of veterans and youth that's merged together and playing ball at a high level. So big ups to the Pelicans for what they're doing. But something tell me that they're not done wheeling and dealing yet. The Knicks on the clock now. The Pelicans, man, still got a few more picks before they come up. So that's the interesting part about it. Now, fam, on the Pelican Post Game Report live stream, and we're simultaneously streaming out to Spreaker and our live stream channel on YouTube. RJ Barrett just went number 3 overall to the New York Knicks. That was expected. Spike Lee and everybody's clapping. So Pelicans, a few more picks down the line, about another 4 picks, and we'll know who the Pelicans would do with that 8th overall selection that they obtained from Atlanta. Is Etwan Moore in the mixture? Could he be possibly somebody the Pelicans are looking to move? That could be something that you could find as well. So a lot of interesting stuff, man, we're thinking about here in terms of what's going to go on with the Pelicans. Like I said, I'd like to appreciate everybody for joining us on our Spreaker audience and the live stream, reaching out all the way to our folks on social media that's getting the alerts, that's chiming in, is picking up. You can hear us on Spreaker, on our Spreaker channel, but if you want to see us, you have to go to our YouTube channel, which is the Pelican Post Game Report. Punch that in and subscribe, hit the notification button. And you can join us here on the comments and the chat and talk to us about what you guys think about what's happening with this absolute monumental move by the Pelicans to get Zion Williamson, then move all these trades around and pick up people. Now let me go over the depth of the depth chart right now, dealing with the Pelicans as it stands right now. Drew, at the starting position, like I said, the depth chart. As a depth chart stands right now, let's see if we can find a more accurate depth chart right here. The Pelicans right now, man, you gotta look at what they bring in here. You got Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball starting at the one. Number two is Drew Holiday. And behind those guys, a lot of people are happy, really excited about the Drew Holiday Lonzo Ball um mixture. Man, that's the best defensive backcourt in the league. But even though that might be the case, I want to know who's gonna score. And they can say, well, Q, that's gonna be Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson to be the guy that'll score for the Pelicans. Well, we need help. But I just think that a lot of stuff that's going on with the Pelicans, man, they just handle everything the right way, man. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think they're absolutely terrific. They've been doing it the right way. The only um, issue I have with the team is the fact that they did extend out Elvin Gentry. I'm not an Elvin Gentry fan. I think people are being flim flammed by him, but we'll see. The pressure is truly on him to perform, unlike any other situation. But let's look at the depth chart. Starters right now, as it's penciled in for the Pelicans: Lonzo Ball at the point, Drew Holiday at the off guard position, Brandon Ingram at the three. Then you have Zion Williamson at four. Jaleel Okafor is penciled in at the five, and of course Julius Randle opted out of his contract, so he enters free agent to bet on himself. He's going to get paid. Behind them on the bench is where it gets interesting. Frank Jackson comes in as the top point guard off the bench. Top off guard is Jason Hart. Jason Hart. Third playoff, the third forward or the small forward position is Kenrick Williams, Sheik Diallo, and they got rid of Solomon Hill, but Etwan Moore is also there. Christian Wood is a player that I think the Pelicans should look at bringing back. I don't know if they will, but right now the Pelicans, right now with one trade, which ultimately got rid of Anthony Davis, they were able to solve the point guard position, the starting point, and the small forward position. Something uh, Drew Dale Demps could never do. So the man basically did everything Demps was supposed to do within his. I mean, it's just absolutely insane, man. It's insane what the man was able to do. I mean, really insane. Really insane. What are y'all thoughts on Zion Williamson? What are your thoughts on the Pelicans um, trading the fourth overall pick to get two first rounders, a high second round pick, and a future first round pick, all for giving up Solomon Hill, the first overall pick, fourth overall pick, Solomon Hill, and the second round pick? So it's interesting. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy, insane, man. Big ups to everybody's cutting up on Facebook right now. Everybody's happy, man. Happy, big ups, and everybody's happy about the Zion Williamson move. Everybody's happy. What are your thoughts? What do you think about it, y'all? Talk to me. What do y'all think about the Zion Williamson move and what the Pelicans will do with that second first round pick that we have coming up at the eight position, number eight. What do we do with that? What do we do with that? You know, but Zion Williams headed to the Big Easy, man. Big ups to the Pelicans for making things happen. Got to give them credit for that. And it's terrific. What prospects out there? If the Pelicans keep these picks, something telling me they're not going to keep both of these picks. But I would be if the Pelicans took drafted somebody with the eighth pick and the 10th pick and took, they could really accomplish some stuff here. I mean, really, seriously, they can pick up a future center if they don't like Jaleel Okafor. They can pick up a backup point guard. Obviously, you're looking for shooters if you utilize those picks. According to what Adrian Griffin and Tranger Langdon, what they're looking for to do is try to accumulate picks for veteran players. You don't have to do that when you got it. When you traded Solomon Hill, you got a lot of draft capital back. So it could be smart if you could probably find shooters in the draft that you could pair off the bench that can come in and help you. You got Jason Hart there, maybe another small forward to come in, a shooting small forward that can come in, perhaps off the bench, maybe a big, perhaps something to that degree. But Atlanta's on the clock. This is the pick the Pelicans originally had. They gave it up to acquire Atlanta's 8 and 10 picks and other picks to go along with it. And the idea is that they might take DeAndre Hunter, the small forward, but then the Pelicans will pick again in another few picks. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what the Pelicans do with these picks, man. That's the interesting thing. What happens with these picks if you're the Pelicans? You know, what happens? Thank y'all for joining us here on the Pelican Post Game Report on the PRO Media Network, rehashing a few of the stories that we covered earlier before the draft occurred. Here's the fact that the Pelicans, we're going over other moves. The Pelicans trade the fourth overall pick in this draft to acquire the eighth overall pick, the 10th overall pick, and the 35th overall pick, not to mention a future first round draft pick in 2020, protected first round draft pick that originally belonged to Cleveland that Atlanta has. We also covered the fact that the Pelicans did option in to keep Jahlil Okafor, which is he had a 2-year contract, a 1-year contract with a team option, and obviously it was super cheap, less than $2 million to get him here. He overplayed overplayed his contract. He was fantastic, and the Pelicans opted into keeping Jahlil Okafor as he your top center at this point in time. Also, we talking about the option. The Pelicans opted in to keep Elvin Gentry from 2020 to 2021. They picked him up and opted to use their team option to secure some room for Elvin Gentry. So they give him extra years to help build his team. Also, Julius Randle, we covered that he will not opt into his deal. He opt out along with a bunch of other people, and he will go into free agency and definitely get paid. So that's a few things. Pelicans, draft Zion Williamson as expected. He is now officially a Pelican. And the Lakers, who got the pick, they call it the Lakers pick, but it's not official yet. But actually, that pick belongs to the Atlanta Hawks, who got it from the New Orleans Pelicans, and they use it to draft DeAndre Hunter, the small forward 3-point shooter, to pair him with Trey Young and John Collins down in Atlanta. They building something special with Atlanta, very worthy team, building good deals. But they gave us both their first round picks, 8 and 10, and a 35th pick and a 2020 first round protected pick as well. So big ups to the Pelicans for making those things happen as well. And of course, like we said, we just went over the depth chart. The Pelicans are obviously looking to add some more talent. So we have a few more picks before the Pelicans play. The next team on the board is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They picking next. Like we said, we still have the Pelicans picking at the number 8 position and the number 10 position. And I'm very anxious to see exactly what the Pelicans are going to do with those picks. So we'll see exactly what's going on, fam. Exactly what's going on. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. Pelicans, man, really doing Pelicans. No indication on what they're gonna do in terms of what they're gonna do with their 8th and 10th pick. So right now we live streaming the draft, going over, talking about what's going on with the Pelicans. A few other teams making some move. Timberwolves are now on the clock. Actually, Cleveland is on the clock right now. I apologize for that. Pelicans doing an excellent job, family. Once again, we um, simultaneously, simultaneously, we're live streaming to multiple platforms right now, blasting out to our social media family via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all of our people across. We're doing a Pelican live stream covering the Pelicans drafting the Zion Williamson. If you're listening to us on Spreaker, feel free to come over to our YouTube page, Pelican Post Game Report channel, punch it in, and you could be able to view us. Do hit the live chat up and let us know what you think about the Zion Williamson move, the drafting of Zion Williamson. How you feel about these picks the Pelicans accrued? You like that? You like the idea of them opting in to keep Jahlil Okafor? Chime in with me. Let me know what you guys think. No, it was kind of last minute, but we decided to break out and do the live stream show and cover a multitude of different issues as it stands. So going hitting up our Twitter feed, and you can follow the Sports Coma via Twitter at Twitter/the Sports Coma. You can follow us on Facebook, the Sports Coma with Big Q and the Guys podcast on Facebook. Just put the Sports Coma in there, you'll find us and subscribe or hit the like button, whatever. You can follow us on Twitter as well. So we got a lot of interesting stuff going on right here, and I just like the fact what the Pelicans have been doing, man. It's this is really excellent. This drafting of Zion Williamson is going to be a major uh, turn as far as the Pelicans concerned. They get a major star with major potential that'll come in here and do a fantastic move. Zion Williamson's officially the Pelicans. Really excellent. Next thing I want to see what goes on with the Pelicans, man. We're hearing conversations about them looking at people like Kevin Love. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, Kevin Love's contract is ridiculous. He just signed this big old contract. I don't know if we should go in that direction. We might not need to. You know, we could play it smart right here. We don't have to gobble up all our money. We could be smart and not be dumb like we used to be when Dale Demps, where you just overpay people. So right now, as it stands, fam, the Pelicans right now holding on to those picks. You know, are they going to take more talent to help Zion Williamson with those picks? Will they trade one of those picks for a veteran? We heard Robert Covington. We heard Bradley Bill. We heard Kevin Love. It's a lot of rumors floating around with the Pelicans dealing with those picks. Word on the street was they accrued these two more picks to put together to get a really good veteran. Is that the case? And if so, what veteran? What veteran the Pelicans are looking to add to this team, which they said report saying that the Pelicans want to stretch for? You know, Kevin Love fits the bill, but he's injured all the time. Do you want to really, and then all that money he's making, do you really want to, pair Kevin Love with Zion Williamson? I mean, he could shoot, but I mean, we have better options, don't we? And we have better options than Kevin Love. Man, what do you guys think about that, man? I think we're making some good moves. We claim a lot of money, off our books that don't deserve to be that Solomon Hills garbage. But outside of that, where we go? If you're the Pelicans, I mean, you tell me, where do you go? Do you take? Do you just don't get too cute? You know, you made a trade. You got rid of the fourth overall pick. You got two picks this year in the first round, and a high pick in the second round, and another first round protected first round pick in the 2020 draft. So you accrued, you've got your draft capital. Don't get too cute and keep trading picks for picks or try to get some veteran player to try to fix the mixture. You already solved some, you got your front four basically worked out. You got just, most of your starting team going into the season. We know Lonzo, we know Drew, we know Ingram, Zion Williamson got drafted tonight. He's going to be there. Okafor, they just opted into Okafor's contract, which basically tells you that Okafor is going to contribute in the capacity. They opted in to keep him, which was big. And we do have a few restricted free agents on the Pelicans roster, guys that's Sheik Diallo and people like that. But the reality at the end of the day is if you're David Griffin, of course you look at the previous guys, but if I'm David Griffin, I'm looking to add length to my team. I want to get taller and I want to add some more shooters to my team. Etwan Moore is overpaid in my philosophy. I think he's 8.6 million is too much to pay for a guy off the bench. He's undersized, and Jason Hart was sprung in with the trade to basically make him expendable. We did an excellent job getting rid of Solomon Hill, which was beautiful. Sent him to the Hawks. And now it's time to get rid of Etwan Moore so we can open up more money so we can address more needs from the free. Because you don't need a max free agent. You know, we unless the team decided, hey, we're gonna sign DeMarcus Cousins or something like that, which is not out of the question. I've heard several stories pertaining to that could be an option at the right price. But all I'm saying is at the end of the day, we don't even have to do that. We could just play it smart and go after mid-tier free agents that'll come in at a good rate, and we'll be able to get some of these guys that can help build a team, and we can compete as of this year. We don't have to just sell out and take the picks and go because we can actually get a few really good bench players with these two first round picks. I mean, we have three first round draft picks this year, thanks to the willing and dealing of Griffin and Tranger Langston. We got a high second round pick, and I just think that's awesome, man. You know, I think it's special. Matter of fact, just give me. I think the Pelicans. I'm about to call out all the Pelicans right now. The Pelicans tr- picks right now. Awesome, man. There's Garland is off the board, picked up by the Cavs. Darius Garland. Wouldn't have been mad if the Pelicans would have picked up Darius Garland. I'm just being honest with you. You know, you can never have too many guards, too many point guards. You know, Pelicans, they got an we know about the eighth overall pick. We know about I said 10th, I mean 17th pick. I'm sorry about that, family. 17th pick, the eighth pick, the 17th pick, and the fifth pick in the second round, and the ninth pick. So Pelicans altogether four picks. BJ said Bobo at 17. If they keep it, do you think they keep that pick at 17? I'm saying 10 earlier for whatever reason. No, I was saying that. Pelicans, it's the 17th pick, family. I apologize for that. 8, 17, and 35. Real interesting, man. What Darius Garland goes to Cleveland? Where does that put Colin Sexton? You know? I don't know what Cleveland doing, man. You know, I guess you can never have too many point guards. But Darius Garland is a different animal. You're gonna try to play both those guys at guard, one and two, at the same time. Just that's why teams like them, I don't know, man. But anyway, the Pelicans, man, coming up real soon. Pelicans picking two more picks from now. They'll be on the clock, and we'll know exactly what they'll do with that eighth pick, y'all. So talk to us. What do you guys think, man? What do you think about the picks? What do you think about the moves the Pelicans made? We covered that some of the news articles earlier today on the show on the live stream. What do you think about that? Do you like the fact that the Pelicans opted in to keep Jaleel Okafor? What are your thoughts on that? How about your thoughts on How about thoughts on the Pelicans reing up with Elvin Gentry, extending him out? Thoughts on that? What about your thoughts on Julius Randle opting out of his contract into free agency, which is not really a surprise. We knew Julius Randle was going to do that. He's basically gambling on himself, and he's according to rumors, New York are looking at him. A lot of good teams are looking at adding a guy, a strong man like Julius Randle, to their team, and he'll be missed. I mean, Julius Randle was a excellent Pelican. I just loved his strong man game, his brutality, his force in the game, that old school game that wasn't finesse, but he stand out and hit a 3 pointer. Julius played with heart and soul. It's too bad Anthony Davis didn't do the same thing this year. If he'd have still played like a man possessed, even though he wanted to be traded, it'd have gave him more leverage instead of sitting down crying. You know, so at the end of the day, Julius Randle bet on himself and he won. He won, and it's always good to see stories like that when guys bet on themselves and come up victorious. So big deal all the way around. Let's go with the best available talent right now. The Pelicans pick um, in two more selections. Zion Williamson, of course, the Pelicans take him. Jay Morant is off the board too. Memphis, RJ Barrett went to New York. Darius Garland is Cleveland. DeAndre Hunter in a trade with the Pelicans with the pick. They took him, and then their other talent: Jarrett Culver's, Cam Reddish, Kobe White, Nasser Little, Jackson Hayes, Romeo Langford, Bobo, PJ Washington, Cameron Jack Johnson, Roy Hachimura, Keldon Johnson, Kevin Porter. There's quite a Ty Jerome. It's a bunch of really talented players left on the board. Which one of those guys would the Pelicans end up with? Huh? Which one of those guys would the Pelicans end up with, if any? I'm still in the mindset of thinking the Pelicans will probably end up getting rid of that pick. So I think they might end up trading that pick. The Suns are making a selection right now, and Jarrett Culver is their pick. So we got a few more picks before the Pelicans make it there. So May Phoenix takes their pick, and now the Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock. So Jarrett Culver, 6'7", 195 pound guy out of TTU, is now going to Phoenix. So Pelicans have a few more picks before they're on the clock, and I'm asking y'all out there, family, what do you think about that? Who do the Pelicans need to address with this position? Of course, they were linked to various reports saying that the Pelicans were ultimately going to end up um, trading these picks, trading out, trying to acquire a veteran all day long, all few days since the AD trade, since they acquired the fourth round pick, they were trying to move it. Um, Now they get the multiple picks from Atlanta, which is the 8 and 17 picks. Which happens with that? What happens with that? What goes on with that? Chime in. All right, fam. I know exactly, man. I've been kind of looking around to see exactly what the Pelicans are going to do right now. There's no rumors going down whether or not the Pelicans look like they might end up keeping this pick coming up real soon. Hopefully, they will be able to keep it and make a good pick up a possible good player with the pick, right? Be interesting to see just how they do it. All right, fam. Well, we about to our Spreaker show, Pelican Post Game Report on Spreaker is ending. So if you want to continue to listen to the Pelican live stream, you can come on over to the Pelican Post Game Report channel on YouTube and hit the live stream up. Talk to us what you think about it. So thank y'all for joining us on the Pelican Post Game Report via Spreaker. Like I said, the shows keep rolling on YouTube live stream. Come on over, subscribe, and follow us there. So to our Spreaker family, thank you for joining us. Peace. Right now, as it stands, we still right now as it stands, the Pelicans, man, doing really big things, man. I gotta tell you no different. They're doing really great things. They're doing excellent things. The Pelicans are. Big ups to the Pelicans organization. Zion Williamson is now aboard. What's the next move, family? What do we do? Who do we go? Who we go with? Big time for the Pelicans, man. A couple of more picks. The Pelicans up on the coming up, and we'll see what they do with that eighth pick. What do you? Are they gonna get too cute? That's the only thing, man. Are the Pelicans gonna get too damn cute with this pick? You know, that's the thing. Hope they don't get too cute. Hope they don't get too cute with this pick. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you know, what do they do? Bulls on the clock now. Pelicans, two more picks, and we'll know what they'll do with that eighth pick. And once that pick happens, family, we'll end the live stream and we'll come back after the draft is over with, and we'll do an overview of the draft totally at this point. But to be quite honest with you, the Pelicans did an excellent job, man. They're doing an excellent job with Zion Williamson picking them up and doing. I'm just really enthused about what them doing. Man, I'm telling you, the Pelicans, man, doing fantastic stuff. I like thank y'all for joining us on the live stream. We just ended the live stream via Spreaker, our audio podcasting platform, and when I we totally on YouTube. After the in a couple of picks, the Pelicans will be up next. Matter of fact, the Bulls are making a selection right now. They take Kobe White, the 6'5" point guard out of North Carolina, with all that hair. So the Bulls taking a point guard right there. Pelicans on the clock, man. After this Pelican pick or trade, whatever they do with it, we'll come back later on after the draft and do a thorough draft breakdown on the Pelicans. Feel free to join us on that. Really excellent, man. Pelicans are now on the clock. So what will happen with this pick? What will go on with the Pelicans, y'all? What's going on with the Pelicans? Tears of joy from Zion Williamson, y'all. That's what we getting the updates here. Awesome, awesome, man. Zion Williamson joining the Pelican organization, man. And families are happy. Now we knew that was going to happen, but it's just awesome, man. Knowing that this guy is now joining with the Pelicans. So, man, it's big ups to Zion Williamson and David Griffin for making this happen, winning the selection, winning the trade, the moves. They did everything right besides getting Andy Davis to buy into what they were doing and getting re up with Elvin Gentry. This might actually turn out to be right, but the pressure of winning because of the draw Zion Williamson is going to bring, and his first professional coach being and Elvin Gentry, I'm not really excited about that. But the fact that if he can get the defense to catch up to his offense, we might have something special here. But the fact that I don't have any confidence in his defensive coordinator, Urban, I don't know. Maybe somebody has to get fired, somebody has to come in, but it's just whatever they're doing is not working. So we'll see what picks that they make. PJ say Bobo at 17 wouldn't be a bad move, but I would love to have a big like that who just shot block and just get his points on cleaning up the glass and everything. But you definitely need another big, maybe two. I would have at least 3 7-footers on my team. We need length. We smallish. 6'9" guys, 6'9" guys at the power forward position are not really power forwards. They can't shoot threes. You get Christian Wood was a good pickup, almost 7 footer, was a ferocious. We'd love to see him come back for a cheap deal. You have a cheap deal on Jaleel Okafor, who played really well, and you pick up some talent in the draft. You're cooking with gas, then you add a few veterans in there, mid-level, third-level guys that help complete the team and compete. The Pelicans are a supreme opportunity right now to really do some things. Pelicans on the clock, fam. Pelicans are on the clock. 3 minutes countdown. Who would the Pelicans take? Let's go over the list. Cam Reddish, one of the best available there. Jackson Hayes. Could Jackson Hayes be the guy? There were a lot of reports linking Jackson Hayes to the Pelicans. Could he be the guy that they take? Or would the Pelicans move this pick? Romeo Langford. How about him? What y'all think is going to be the Pelicans? 2 minutes before they turn in the card. Shouldn't take that long. It take the whole 2 minutes. They got a trade going on. Bobo is there, y'all. I don't think it would be Bobo though. I think probably the best pick for them, if you're looking for a center prospect, is Jackson Hayes. I'm intrigued by Bobo's size. Don't get me wrong, and you can't get near the basket with a guy that big. And I wouldn't mind having a big like that who just would have the ability to literally just look what the impact Rudy Gobert has on Utah. I mean, he just hovers around the basket and just alter shots. Just he don't even block half the shots, but just the fact that he's there, causes problems. Maybe we can have our own Rudy Gobert and Bobo, but the best center prospect in the draft, according to many draft experts, are Jackson Hayes. Bobo is would be awesome to me, because I like his size and his shot blocking ability. It wouldn't be called on him to score anything, just be defensive, just run, play defense, rebound, shot block. Of course, the Pelicans wanted a stretch four that can shoot the three, but you can still have that if you would, if you can address it. A stretch four that can shoot the three, or a stretch five that can shoot the three. Is that cold? Is there any way DeMarcus Cousins end up in a mixture? You got a lot of free agents that will be coming up. Would that make sense to the Pelicans to get a guy like DeMarcus Cousins if he's healthy? Would that be? I don't know, man. I don't know. Wouldn't that be weird though? Anthony Davis takes off for LA. DeMarcus Cousins come back to New Orleans to team up with Zion Williamson, and he can hit the three. He's a big man, can hit the three. He can play in the paint. He can move around. He's a weapon. But to have him to come back on a deal, and I don't know, don't say no, because you never know how this whole thing can end up. Just telling you how it go, family. Pelicans on the clock. A lot of people saying the best person is Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish, the 6'6", 6'8", small forward out of Duke. Could we get another teammate? You didn't get RJ Barrett, but you might end up getting Cam Reddish to team with Zion Williamson. So then, of course, there's Jackson Hayes, the big center prospect, who's probably the best fit, who can run the floor. But the pick is in here, and here go the Pelicans. Let's see who they use now. It's showing as Atlanta, but it's really the Pelicans pick. So after this pick, we can give you a little commentary. Then we're gonna shut off the live stream, and then when the draft is over, we'll come back and give a breakdown of the draft. So let's see what the pick is. Like the breaking down the draft again, and the Hawks get DeAndre Hunter, which was the fourth overall pick from the Pelicans, a second round pick, which is a 54th overall, a future second round pick, and Solomon Hills, almost 13 million. The Pelicans get the 18th, the 17th, the 34th, 35th pick in the second round, and then they get a 2020 first round pick that used to belong to Cleveland. Now we broke that down, you know, which is they get an extra pick next year to go with the pick that they. It's just awesome. And here come the selection, y'all. The selection is in. Is it Bobo? Is it Jackson Hayes? It's Justin Hayes. The Pelicans take the center, Justin Hayes. Now I love that one. Justin Hayes. So the Pelicans get the center of the future prospect in Jackson Hayes, who will. That's your starting five: Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is now the Pelicans' future center prospect. This is huge, absolutely huge for the Pelicans. Jackson Hayes is the man. Getting Jackson Hayes, man, gives them a shot blocking big that can run the floor. That's number one. It gives them he doesn't he I don't know about his 3-point shooting ability. I know he can shoot the ball, but this guy is a guy that's 7 footer that can move. He can run. He's an athlete. Good finisher. Can jump through the roof. Jackson Hayes is the pick. Do you love it? That's actually a pretty good pick. 2018, 2019, freshman of the year, shot blocker, runs the floor, catches alley oops, energetic. Love the move, man. They needed a 7 footer that can run. The Pelicans got the size that they need. So there you go. Lonzo Hill, Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Jackson Hayes. That's your 5 starters. Pelicans. Love the move. I'm gonna end a live screen on that note. When the draft is over, we'll come back. We'll cover the entire draft. I'll open up the phone lines, let you guys chime in with your thoughts on the draft and other things. So remember, follow us here on the YouTube channel, Pelican Post Game Report. We'll be back. We'll be back tonight after the draft. Peace.